Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist continues to disintegrate. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the word disintegrate is a very difficult word for me to say, but try and say that 3 times fast. Disintegrate, disintegrate, disintegrate. It's exactly what the narcissist does over time, not only with the relationship that you were a part of, with themselves, and with any other relationship that they ever were a part of. You see, the narcissist wants to sell people a bill of goods. They want to sell them a promise of what will never be. They want a future fake. They want to trick and trap people. They want to place people in that zombie-like, trance-like state, which is known as the narcissistic fog, or the trauma bond, or the devaluation stage, and all 3 are unique to themselves yet interchangeable, and they all encompass one thing, which is toxicity. The person you're considering, A, knew exactly what they were doing, B, they had done it before, C, they're most likely doing it right now, and the relationship that they're in right now, although it is not with you, at least that is my hope, they are trying to get as close to that person or those people so they can do what? That's right, they can disintegrate it more and more and more. You see, what the narcissist wants to do is destroy. They don't want to create. They want to blow up relationships they don't want to build. There's no such thing as togetherness in a narcissistic relationship. There is one person who the other person is subservient for, and the person who is the narcissist is taking the best of that other person. And all of these relationships, every single one of them, have an expiration date, because by now you should know, yes, they all disintegrate, they all evaporate, they all fade over time. When you have 2 healthy, committed, loving, stable people in a relationship, usually you have 2 people working to help each other out. That could be brother-sister, could be brother-brother, sister-sister, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, friends, could be a romantic relationship, business, whatever it is. But when you have 2 people that are upfront, genuine, authentic, and honest, well, then you have a good relationship when both people are similar to that. When you have one person who probably was you, with a high level of empathy, commitment, togetherness, growth, you were an open book, and you were committed to that relationship, and you have another person who turns out to be toxic, maybe even narcissistic, well, eventually that relationship will fall apart. It will disintegrate, because the person that you were in the relationship with, they're not building, they're trying to steal. They're not creating, they're trying to pillage. They're not being honest or forthright. They're trying to hide and lurk in the shadows. And they're trying to slowly, insidiously chip away at that relationship. Think about what disintegration is. What it is it's something that slowly over time erodes, something wears out. It doesn't have sustainability. Example, you could say an old cloth from hundreds or thousands of years ago. Well, that cloth from whatever period of time it was, at one point it looked a certain way. Well, now that cloth is deteriorating. It's getting worse, it's disintegrating. Same thing, a different, very simple modern day example. Say you have a washer with a screw and a screw and a plug, whatever it's called, the washer. The washer, that thing disintegrates too, because it's not meant to stand the test of time. Fast forward to the narcissistic relationship, these things don't stand the test of time. They stand nothing. This is why the narcissist cares about nobody but themselves. It's why they look for people to take from. It's why when you're in these relationships, when you weren't educated and you didn't know what you were up against, you were being chipped away at day by day, week by week, month by month. And your identity was disintegrating. Your money was evaporating. Your purpose and your clarity was disintegrating. Your belief in humanity, your belief in your relationship, your belief in what you were trying to build, it was all deteriorating, it was all evaporating. Yes, it was all disintegrating. Because the more you gave to that toxic person, the more they wanted from you. The more they wanted from you, the less you had. The less you had, the more they punished you for being you and for not doing what they wanted you to do. Back then, you didn't realize that you were in an unfixable relationship from hell. You didn't realize that that person knew what they were doing. You didn't realize that no matter what you said or when you said it, or no matter what you didn't say or when you didn't say it, you would be abused for just being you. This is why people cannot stay 1, 2, 3, 5, 30 steps in front of the narcissist. I'm not talking literally as when they walk in front of you. I'm talking you can't outthink the narcissist when you're in these relationships, because they will change direction whenever they want to. And just when you think you have them figured out, well, they'll go in a different direction. Why? To punish you, and plus they don't care. And if they think that you're catching on to them, usually that's when the discard will happen, or usually they'll turn around and call you the narcissist, or usually they will blame you or give you the silent treatment, so you're begging to communicate with them again. This is all before you had the wisdom. Once you get the wisdom and that light bulb goes on, it switches like that. Once that light bulb goes on, then you realize, oh my gosh, I was in a relationship I couldn't fix. This person was playing the victim card. They were never a victim. They were stealing money from me. They were cheating on me. They were lying to me. They were hanging up on me. They were walking, 30, 40 feet in front of me. They were perhaps administering the smear campaign with anybody that was listened to it. And they knew that that relationship was deteriorating. They did know it. This is why the cycle goes around and around and around in a loop. And I'm referring to the narcissistic abusive cycle. The first part is usually the love bomb or the euphoric stage, when you think or you thought that everything is puppies and rainbows and unicorns and snickerdoodles. Well, not so fast. Everything isn't how it appears to be, and in the beginning of that relationship you thought it was going to be that way for the rest of your life. Well, the narcissist knew it wouldn't be that way, that they were trying to sink their dirty fangs into you to get as close to you so then they could do part 2 of the narcissistic abusive cycle, which is, that's right, the devaluation stage. And this is when the relationship is completely deteriorating. It's getting worse day by day. And yes, did you have some good days sprinkled in there? Of course you did. Did you have a weekend every now and again? Of course you did. Was your birthday celebrated every 2 leap years? Possibly. But as time went on, you were giving more and more, and you were being silenced more and more. You were being given the silent treatment more and more. You were being disrespected more and more. You were being ignored more and more. Complete strangers are being treated better than you more and more. And the narcissist knew that they were punishing you, because the narcissist knew what you possessed and what you still do possess, and they try to steal it. They try to capture it for a period of time, which was the length of that relationship. And they try to extinguish you and extinguish your beautiful, bright, shining light, but they failed because you're here. And then the ending of the relationship took place because that relationship had broken apart so many different times over the course of it, because you were being discarded. These are called micro discards throughout the relationship until the macro discard took place, and that probably came out of left field if you were discarded, and if you were, my heart goes out to you. And that's when you were trying to figure out what had just happened. Well, your abuser just stole everything from you and disappeared and slithered off onto a new source of supply. But you didn't, you weren't supposed to figure that out, but you did. That's why you're here on the in the community and on the channel, getting your cup full. And then the fourth part of the relationship, or of the cycle, I should say, not relationship, at times there is what is known as a hoover. A hoover is a type of a vacuum cleaner, and a vacuum cleaner does what? It sucks up things from the ground. Well, that's what the narcissist does. They try to enter your purview, enter your mindset. So this is why the narcissist at times hoovers people. They try to still live in your mind rent-free. This is why once you get the wisdom, and my hope is by now you've acquired the wisdom, which means you know who the toxic person is, you know what they're capable of, you know what their motives were, and you know what they did, and you know all you need to know about how they behave, and that it wasn't just you, they do this with everybody, but you're the person I care about. When you realize that, then you realize that you need to get off the radar of these people. Go no contact, block them, delete them, remove them and all flying monkeys and people associated with them. If not now, when? If you're not there yet, get ready to create, develop, and execute your exit plan. But all of these relationships disintegrate, every single one of them. Think about over in Egypt, the Great Pyramids. Number one, think about how they got there. Well, you can figure it out for yourself, or you probably have your own ideas, but they disintegrate over time because all the sand washes away these stones that were put in place by whomever or whatever put them there. Same thing with a stream or a river. Maybe you live near a river or a stream. Well, what happens there? The riverbed deteriorates because the water gets super high and sometimes it's low and it gets washed away. Same thing with the ocean shoreline. It deteriorates, it disintegrates. You see, life is evolving, it's changing, it's ebbing, it's flowing, it's dynamic, it's always moving. You're not the same person you were 9 minutes and 31 seconds ago than you are right now. I'm not the same person I was 3 seconds ago. We are all growing, evolving. We are elevating and ascending. What is the narcissist doing? The only thing they're doing is changing the mask they wear so they can enter another relationship, so they can get as close to that person as possible, love bomb them, give them the euphoric treatment, get their hooks sunken into them, and begin to deteriorate that person from the outside in, or from the inside out is more likely. Again, what does the narcissist take from people? They take their time, their health, their money, their relationships, their hobbies, their favorite restaurants, their favorite music they used to like to listen to, their favorite streets, their favorite cities, towns, states, and more. This is why this is the relationship you need to heal from. If you think for a moment that you've identified that the relationship you were part of was toxic and perhaps even narcissistic, and you don't take time out for yourself to understand the glossary and the definitions in the narcissistic abusive cycle, such as what is triangulation, what is gaslighting, what is a rage fit, and more. If you don't learn those and you go right back out and start dating again, or you start up a new business with a complete stranger, or you continue to be an open book and you share information with other people, well, you're most likely going to continue to meet the dark energy force over and over and over again until you get the wisdom and apply the tools. And what the wisdom is and what the tools are is now you understand how humanity works. You understand that these relationships with toxic people, they all disintegrate. None of them are sustainable. None of them have any commonality in them. You have two people in them, one a toxic person, a user, an abuser, and a manipulator, which is the parasite, and then you have the host, which was you and it was me, which is the kind, loving, stable, healthy, beautiful, bright, shining light. That's what you are, that's what I am. Not the host, I'm talking about a beautiful, bright, shining light. But when you realize that, then you realize, wait a minute, I need to have a small footprint. I need to conserve my energy. I need to keep my cup full. I need to observe. I need to move slower through life, move at my speed, not the speed that narcissists want to be going at, like a yo-yo going up and down. I go at my own speed. And this is called the healing path. This is called when you finally do heal, and my hope is you have, or you are getting closer to healing, you will arrive at a place that I call the mountaintop of indifference. This is the otherwise called the pinnacle of indifference. It's where you can teach a class, take a class, read a book, write a book, travel the world, fall in love again. You can sleep until 12 or you can stay up till 2 a.m. You can do whatever you want to on your own timeline. And the reason why for this video is because you are not in a relationship that is disintegrating. You see, you've already healed, or you're understanding what toxicity is. Toxicity has 2 legs and feet, just like you do. Toxicity crawls all over dating apps. Toxicity is all over social media. Toxicity is envious, is jealous. Toxicity wants to be you. Toxicity wants to extinguish you. Toxicity doesn't want you to live and thrive and find your purpose and your higher calling. Toxicity wants to keep you stunted like a beach ball underneath the water in a pool, not coming up for air. Toxicity doesn't want you to ever see behind the mask. Toxicity doesn't want you to break the chains of abuse. Toxicity doesn't want you to sever the 4 ties, the emotional, the financial, the physical, and the spiritual tie. Toxicity is everywhere. Now, this isn't a doom and gloom video. This is a positive, uplifting, motivational video to let you know that the narcissist continues to deteriorate not only every relationship they ever become a part of, but themselves from within. You see, the narcissist has a bottomless pit within them, and it can't be satiated by any one person, by any amount of money, by any amount of access to anything, because once the event or the time or the money or whatever it is has been accumulated or taken or experienced at the hands of the narcissist, then what do next? They need to look for something else and something else and something else. This is why when you were in that relationship, let's say you did get married to the narcissist, well, you were committed because you believed in your vows and you thought that that was a big thing. You probably didn't want to get divorced. I didn't either. But when you realize that you're in a relationship with a sinking ship, a ticking time bomb, a walking cyclone, a tornado with 2 feet, and you realize that that person never loved you, they never cared about you, they only cared about deteriorating you from the inside out and stealing everything from you, eventually crumbling you up like a sheet of paper, throwing you away in the freeway, and hoping, because they had done such a magnificent job at destroying your life, hoping you never existed. Well, that's not what happened with you. It certainly isn't what happened with me, but it did happen with other people before the narcissist met you. This is why you are cut from a different cloth. This is why you are stronger than you know. And this is why you need to understand that that relationship wasn't your fault. There's not one more thing you could have done to help the narcissist. There's not one more thing you could have done for them. You could have cooked the best food on the planet. You could have been a Michelin star chef, 10 stars, whatever it is, 5 stars, 3 stars. It wouldn't have been enough. You could have been the president of your own continent, country, jurisdiction. It wouldn't have been enough. You could have owned your own time zone. You could have owned all of the money on the planet. It can't be enough, Because once the narcissist had that or got too close to it, then they would mock you. They would blame you. They would say, really? You have your own time zone, but you only have one? You should have three. What's your problem? Because they're envious, they're jealous, they're cowards, they're shallow, they're hollow, and above all, they're bullies. And they deteriorate people, relationships, health, money, and so much more from anybody, and I mean anybody they encounter. Remember when you were living with the narcissist, or when you spent time with them in a moving car, on vacation, or in a closed environment for a period of time. You were most likely holding your breath. You were most likely walking on eggshells. You weren't being yourself, and you couldn't. And you had to tolerate the toxicity. This is when you didn't know what narcissism was. Then what happened after the narcissist got booted, or you were discarded, or however it ended, and as you were healing, you realized, wow, I feel this is, of course, after you break the trauma bond, but after you do that, and that's not an easy task by any means, that's for a different video, but as you are getting away from them and you're getting strong, you realize, wow, I actually am returning. My health is returning. My focus is returning. My clarity is returning. And you start to understand that this wasn't your fault at all. You were a person who was targeted. You were sought out. Your level of empathy, your level of humanity, your level of commitment, and your level of empathy, if I didn't say that, this is what this person wanted to take from you. And they never, ever, and I mean never, thought you would figure it out. They thought they would just discard you like they discarded everybody else. They would be able to play the victim card, blame you, you would never heal, and there's another one stuck in the closet of abuse up on a shelf like a Barbie doll or a Ken doll who never would put two and two together. This is why you're different, and this is why the narcissist continues to deteriorate. It's not only the relationships that they become a part of, but these people become consumed with themselves. I've said this in so many videos, specifically over the last few months, I'll say it again. The toxic person you're considering, if they get to a certain age, they become the aging narcissist. And the aging narcissist is not a pretty sight to see. And they are thinking that they're 10, 20, 30 years younger than they are. And they're holding on to whatever they think that is keeping them appear younger. But what reality is inside of them is a festering, bottomless pit. It's a festering void that's screaming with all the toxicity they've dumped into other people. And it will come back to roost. It will come back to haunt them. Every single night the narcissist goes to sleep. Do you think for a minute they actually want to close their eyes and go to sleep? They don't. They want to be like the Energizer Bunny on the go, go, go. This is why the narcissists can't sit still. That's why they're always on their smartphones. They're always going here, there, everywhere. They don't want to go to sleep for a second because they know when they go to sleep, those demons enter their mind, and those demons haunt them over and over and over again. And so this is what happens in the very end. In the end, think about what I shared with you earlier with the Egyptian pyramids and things like that. Well, in the sand, or let's just use the sand, wherever the desert is, what does the desert do? It deteriorates, it disintegrates bones and bodies and buildings and trees and everything. Well, that's the narcissist in a nutshell. You see, they're stuck in their own wasteland of abuse. They're stuck in their own desert of toxicity. They're deteriorating more and more and more. And they know this, which is why they want to take from other people. And they want to steal anything they possibly can from those people, specifically deteriorating them, their health, their time, their mindset, their money, their relationships, and so much more. That's why once you get the wisdom, you need to go no contact and block this person or these people as soon as you possibly can. These people do not improve. They do not magically change. They do not all of a sudden become accountable or introspect. They are dull, they are boring, they are jealous, they're envious, they're bottomless, they're hollow, they're shallow, they're cowards, and they know what they're doing. Stay away from toxicity. Don't give it another opportunity. Maintain your boundaries and maintain no contact, and realize what the narcissist continues to do, it's disintegrate. That's what they've always been doing. And they may look great, they may look like a Adonis or a supermodel or whatever you think. Remember, beauty is only skin deep. It's not what matters on the exterior. It's what matters on the interior. Are you a good person? Are you doing the right thing? Are you being authentic and genuine? Or are you hiding behind the clown mask, the makeup on the unicycle, juggling multiple bowling pins in any one time, going in any direction the unicycle, which means one will take you in. That's what the narcissist continues to do. Juggle on that unicycle of abuse, hoping to get more and more bowling pins thrown up in the air so they can juggle as many relationships as lives as they possibly can, and they don't care if any one of them falls on the ground. As a matter of fact, they actually like that because then they get to watch that person squirm and hopefully not exist. This is in the mind of the narcissist. My mindset is to have you free from these toxic people and to get the message and to finally take action. If not now, when? So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And remember a few things. 1, for fun, try to say the word disintegrate 3 times fast. It's very difficult. Number 2, that's what these relationships do. I usually say deteriorate because it's an easier word for me to say, but it's the same meaning. Disintegrate, deteriorate, erode, fall apart, whatever you want to use. These relationships are not sustainable. There's no togetherness, there's no common ground, there's no unity. What you have is smoke and mirrors, one person hiding in plain sight from the other person trying to be the glue to keep the family or the relationship together, doing everything and being transparent, honest, authentic, genuine, and oversharing information, truth be told, and the other person sits back and says, wow, I really have a good unpaid helper here. I really have a good servant. This is what the narcissist thinks. This is why these people don't change. If you think for a minute they change and they improve, you are wrong. You need to play this video and play it a few times. These people never change. They never improve. The only thing they do is slither off into the darkness, wearing a new mask, going on to a new source of supply or a recycled source of supply. I love you all. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Bye, everybody. Bye.